Welcome to Team Sunday Night Zoom. We're really excited. I'm excited because I messaged Mandy earlier and I was like, yo, what do you got? And she's like, I've got a lot of great stuff. And so honestly, my name is Stephanie, and I didn't realize how fast March is going. Anybody feel like March is already done? Like, what in the world? It's already summer. I feel like it's summertime already, and it's going to be here and gone. And so we've got 1 week left. And so I know a lot of people are running after goals. I know a lot of people have really big goals going into the next 30, 60, 90 days. And so I'm excited because the amazing Mandy Mitchell has some really awesome, we were chatting and she's like, we really need to talk about income generating activities, but not just your DMO, like things that you do now and things that will like plant seeds and grow later. And so she's got a lot of people that are going to give some input. And then later in a little bit, we're going to chat about coaching and what does that mean, and maybe who you might resonate in working with, and maybe letting yourself off the hook, knowing that like you might not mesh with somebody, and that's okay. And so it's going to be a great Zoom. Welcome. Mandy is amazing. And I always love hearing you. You're super, well, you're beautiful and gorgeous, but you always have a lot of value. So
I'm gonna wear makeup on all of my Zooms if you're just gonna throw compliments at me.
Give you all the I mean, you're always beautiful, but like you don't often wear makeup as much as like, so you're gorgeous. So go.
This is something I need to step up into my game because this is new.
You know what? I think it's the lighting. Like you just look
everything. You know what? I'm also gonna say I'm just in a good freaking mood today, so there might also just be a genuine aura around me and how excited I am for all the things that are happening. So
we were saying the Keto Up is amazing. I saw you drinking one. Yes. So it's like 6 o'clock at night. I mean, okay, you go.
Okay. It's really hard for me to not drink like 5 of these a day, by the way. So Stephanie's right. We have a ton of stuff. I had so much on my heart, and like, I love that she includes us and our team, and we all get to work together as one big group because that's what we are. So I love that she's letting some people, not letting, but welcoming those of us who are going to contribute tonight, because we've got some good stuff going on. Spent several days, it was really only 2, but it felt like several because it takes me so long to get there, in the Houston area last week, and got to talk to a bunch of our teammates. And gosh, it's so different to be in the presence of people than it is to be just on the computer. And it really kind of opened up a lot of conversations that I just feel like clearly, if I spent a couple of nights with a couple of different groups of people and everybody had the same kind of questions, I'm thinking there's sort of a trend here. So Stephanie's right. We've got a lot we want to cover, and we're going to try and keep it as tight as possible to honor your time. The first things first are income generating activities. And it came from Kim. I don't know if Kim, I'm not going to even try to say her last name, Kim, but she asked this question in our little mastermind, and it was just so powerful. She said, I have a limited time to spend on my business every day, and I'm working, but sometimes I just feel like I'm spinning my wheels, like I'm doing things, but am I really doing the right things? And so what we did is we kind of talked about the 2 different types of income generating activity, and really that some of it is stuff that's going to generate income for you down the road. And some of it is stuff that's going to generate income for you like today, like do the thing and then go take a shower and come back and have money in your PayPal. Like there's both of those things. And if you spend too much time in one area of that activity, you're really going to have an unbalanced business. And so what I find is a lot of people will spend time in that income generating activity that might help move your business forward later. So it's stuff you're not going to see for a while. And then you think to yourself, oh man, I've been working. I'm doing all these things and I'm not seeing the results. And maybe you're just a day or 2 away or a week or 2 away. And it's not that what you were doing was wrong or wasn't helpful. It's just that you're spending time in the, too much time on the future income generating activity and not enough time in the present, or vice versa. So we kind of wanted to break those apart just so you guys can get a feel for what I mean. There's probably a million activities in each section that we're not going to talk about because I could do 72 hours on this. Brittany Bradshaw knows I have a list a mile long. So I could probably do 72 hours on this topic alone, but I'm just going to give you some ideas. So income generating activity that's really important for you moving forward that will create business for you later, which we all want, right? You don't want all your business to happen right now. You want to know that 60 days from now, 90 days from now, 120 days from now, 6 months from now, you're still attracting new people. So the most important thing in that IGA, I'm just going to call it IGA for your future business, is growing your network. And either I see one of two things. Either people completely forget that that's an important part of it, or that's where they spend a lot of their time because it's really comfortable and simple and it makes you feel like you've accomplished a lot for the day. So when I say growing your network, I'm talking specifically about, let's talk about social media and in quote unquote real life. I mean, I know this is real life, but still. Also, Jack Mitchell, I love you so much, but can you turn down your computer in the other room because I can hear myself and it's making me insane. I love you. Thank you. Okay. So he can't sit next to me when I'm talking because my hands are like this the whole time. So growing your network on social media, it's super important to grow your network, right? Like I know we call this community-based marketing, and I know we're really trying to make a shift. But the reality is you need to grow your network in order to grow your business. You know, I think back to like the lady in town who has the sweet Mary Kay pink Cadillac, which I actually don't think is a super sweet looking car. I don't really care for a pink Cadillac. Cadillac's cool. Pink Cadillacs, unless you're Elvis Presley, not my jam. So, but that's what she has and that's what she drives. And she's older than me. I think she's probably my mom's age or so. We tend to be at the same places, like Target, quite frequently at the same time. So I've seen her get in and out of her car and had a couple conversations with her just in passing. Like, I know she's been doing this for a really long time, probably about 20 years, 25 years. So when she started, we didn't have social media. When we started, she was calling her friends on a landline telephone and asking them to book a party. She was knocking on doors in her neighborhood. Now, she didn't tell me this, but I know the timeline of the progression of technology, so I'm just guessing here. So, like, raise your hand if you think she has that pink Cadillac today because she only talked to the people in her neighborhood. No. If she just talked to the people in her neighborhood, even if it was a really big neighborhood, that wouldn't be enough, right? She would have to go to the next neighborhood over, or she'd have to ask the people in that neighborhood, like, who do you know that can come over and have a Mary Kay party? So growing your network is really, really, really super important. And social media makes it ridiculously easy. So income generating activities that can move your business forward later, where you can see a spike in your income later for activities that you do today, is simply being conscious of growing your network. So finding places where you can connect with people that are like you, right? Raise your hand if you've ever said, man, I wish I could find 10 more people just like me. I actually would maybe like one more person just like me. I think other than that, I'd be way too much to handle. So I wouldn't wish myself on myself. But I want people that I'm going to resonate with, right? So we can build really good relationships. So you can do that. And I'm sure you've heard of this before, but let me just give you a couple of quick ideas. Heading into Facebook and joining groups about things that you like. So I like football. I like specifically the Pittsburgh Steelers. I like My Chocolate Labs. I like wine and wine country. So I join groups on Facebook. I don't spam those groups about ketones, but I interact with people there. And my goal is to increase my network by 2 people a day. So 2 people that I've had some kind of interaction with that I'm going to send a friend request to, and they're going to become my friend. And I'm not going to do that thing where the minute they accept my friend request, I message them about ketones. I'm just doing that so that eventually we can build a relationship. That's an example of income generating activity that will move your business forward later. But show of hands, full transparency here. How many of you have gotten stuck thinking, well, I'm doing that. I'm growing my network every single day. I'm working my business every single day. I'm working. Why? Raise your hand. I saw a couple people who were completely honest. I'm telling you, I've done that, where I've just been like, I don't understand what's going on. Like I'm talking about my dogs with new people every day. that's easy, right? There's no confrontation. You don't have to talk about business. You don't have to feel like you're selling anybody anything. So you just live in that space and think, well, I'm growing my network, I'm growing my network, I'm growing my network. Some of you may not even recognize that that's an important thing you need to do, but some of us will live in that space for a long time and think, we're doing the things. Probably not enough. It's important, and I suggest that you do it every day, but if you live there and that's all you do, it's gonna feel like it's taking forever to pay off. But something like that is a great way to grow your network. Talking to people in real life, getting to a place where you can do a booth or a table, or set up something at your gym or a boutique, which I saw people doing, like Coco and Letitia had a booth at a boutique. That's an income generating activity that actually could probably fall in both categories. My guess is they probably sold some sample packs that day, and they made some connections for people that they'll end up talking to again later. Brandy Parks and a couple of people on her team just did a big event in Houston for a race. They've sold some sample packs, and they grew their network. They friended people on Facebook so that those people can be watching them later. So that's one place. You want to make sure you're doing that every single day, something that's going to grow your business down the road, an income generating activity for later, which loosely translates to grow your network, right? And then a portion of your day really needs to be focused on income generating activity for the day. Now, I'm going to give you like 4 things or 3 things, and then Brandy Parks is going to come on and tell you about the most magical idea. I'm so fired up about it. I'm literally getting sweaty thinking about how I'm going to rock this and completely change my business because of this great tip that she has. So I hope you all have a pen and paper. But it's just a matter of doing both. So income generating activity for the day that can actually put money in your pocket that day is, let's say we have a promo. I don't know if you guys saw the post I shared in Team Pages about when we had the promo with like Eclipse and Ruby, and I gave you all the tips, all the ways you could touch people. Those are income generating activities for that day. Activities that if you do it, you're likely to increase your income that day. So when you have a promo, things like searching for people in your back office who've ordered that flavor before, searching for people in your back office who just love Unleashed because we're launching a new Unleashed flavor, following up with all the people who clicked on your Keto Up link the last time we launched Keto Up, when we launch it the next time, right? That's going to be an income generating activity for that day. Mitoplex is coming, right? So, and when that gets officially launched, an income generating activity for that day is going to be to contact your current customers. Like, grab your last 30 people that have entered your business as a customer and send them a message. Like, you just have to write it one time, copy and paste it, and then go take a shower. And then wait for your pulse, right? And your pulse will update. That's an income generating activity that will impact you that day. When we don't have a promotion, when we don't have a sale, when we don't have a new product launch, you can still impact your income that day. So I had a teammate who was saying, oh man, my personal income just isn't where I want it to be this month. Okay, I'll screenshot my PayPal, you screenshot yours, and we'll meet back at the end of the day and see who has more money at the end of the day. And it's not a reflection of who knows more people. It was literally a reflection of who was willing to do more income generating activities. So I've just followed up with people. Hey girl, I saw you liked my last post about whatever that I posted about ketones or ketosis or Prove It or the ketogenic diet. Listen, I've got some 5 and 10 days that I'm putting together. I've only got a handful of them left. I'm going to be hitting the post office first thing tomorrow morning, and I immediately thought of you. I know you've been toying with the idea of trying it out. I just wanted to give you a chance. They're $10 off my usual price. Just wanted to throw it out there. Let me know. That's a message you can send to 10 or 20 people pretty quickly, and then go take a shower and have money in your PayPal whenever you get back. So there's a laundry list of things, and I could literally do a whole Zoom on things you can do each day and how to message people and where to look and searching for your old Facebook posts and finding the ones that have the most interaction and constantly messaging those people. You guys, until someone tells me to leave them alone, I am going to message them. Like, if today I don't have a promo from Prove It, I'm going to go back and find my last highly interactive post that I made about ketones, and I'm going to message every single person who liked or commented on it, and I'm going to offer them a chance to try ketones. Some people, it's like, I mean, the only interaction is me reaching out for like 7 messages, but they haven't told me to stop, and they haven't unfriended me, and they haven't blocked me, and the next time I message them might be the time that they try. So, you know, it's just, and it's letting go of that outcome. Like, it doesn't matter what they're going to say to you. You're literally offering them an amazing, incredible product, and you want to make sure they get some before you run out, because you've only got a little bit and you're headed to the post office in the morning. So those are really, I just want to give you an idea. Some of them I'm sure you've already heard me talk about, but listen to what you are about to learn. I'm literally getting sweaty. I think I for sure have to take this cardigan off, because Brandy Parks has an amazing idea, and it is like gonna for sure change how I do my business, and it is for sure gonna change how I handle my income generating activities. Now, this is income generating activity that might be for that day, but it's more than likely something that's gonna move your business forward down the road. So I want you to keep that in mind when you hear what she has to say. Brandy, can you unmute yourself, please? Like, I know I've already heard you tell me this 2 times, but I have my notebook ready because it is so freaking smart. And before you get started, let me ask everybody a question. How many of you wish you had more customers sharing the product for you? If you don't have your hand in the air, you are 100% dead to me. Okay, thank you. Everyone's hands in the air. I mean, Coco put down a baby for a second, I think, to put her hand in the air. All right, and how many of you wish you had more customers turning into promoters? And how many of you feel like, how the heck do I make people even do that? Guess what? Brandy's gonna tell you. It's so exciting. Okay, go ahead, Brandy. I set everybody up for you, so now you have to be magical.
I know. That's, yeah. So first off, Mandy gives me entirely too much credit, because I've just been doing this activity, but I didn't realize that everybody else wasn't doing it. So shame on me for not sharing sooner. And some of you guys probably do something like it. So, when I get up every morning, it's one of the first things that I do is I want to know what happened while I was asleep. So I want to know what SmartShips process, where my business is, who kind of did what. And so last week, one day I noticed, I don't usually go through all of them individually. I just kind of get a good little vision of it in my head and see if there's anything unique. And so this one day I noticed that there was someone's name that I didn't recognize, and she had purchased 3 boxes on SmartShip. So it triggered me to start to do a little bit of an investigation. And I noticed that she had been on SmartShip since May of last year. She buys 3 boxes every month, and she always pays for them. And so I'm like, who is this magical person? And so I go to investigating a little bit further, and I see that she's several levels down from me, but there aren't many people at all that are actually working their business or even talking to this person that obviously has an amazing story. So I decided to reach out to her and just send her a quick friend request and a message that said, hey, please tell me what your story is. Like, I want to know. Oh my gosh, I saw that you ordered this morning. And I didn't want to make a big deal about, hey, I see that you're paying for ketones and you have been since May. Let me help you get them free. Because it didn't stop her from ordering 3 boxes a month just because she had to pay for them. So that wasn't where I thought the priority was. So I just asked for her story. So because we learned at Epic too, that a good promoter first becomes a customer. So that's kind of been what I'm doing. And since then, it's a daily thing, like doing more investigation in your back office. And sometimes I think it gets a little overwhelming for those that have more than a few people in their back office. And so this helps kind of give you that daily activity.
Yeah, I love that. And I think what made me so excited about what you said is because, first of all, I don't do that. Like, even after I spent time with you, like the last few days have been crazy. So today is the first day that I woke up and went, oh, I wonder what SmartShips processed today. And I love the way you put it. You were like, I made money while I was sleeping. Of course I want to know what happened overnight. You know what I mean? So you check your SmartShips in the morning and see what's going on. And I think what I loved about what you recognized in that situation was that it wasn't important for her to get free ketones. So that's not how you approached her. If it were important for her to have free ketones, she wouldn't have been paying them for this whole time, number one. Number two, you recognize that if you're drinking ketones 3 boxes a month, that's 2 servings a day for the past 8 or 9 months, you probably have some kind of a story that you can share with people. So 100% loved that. And I also love that I feel like it takes away that I want this person to share, and I know that will benefit my business, so it makes me feel weird to ask, right? Like, we all know what the product can do, and we all know what sharing the product can do, but I think there's still this part of us that goes, but it's also going to benefit me if you share, so I feel weird asking you. And you completely taking out that, let me help you get your ketones for free, because Brandy, that's what I do. That's the message I send, the email I send, the text I send, the Facebook message is like, let me help you earn these for free. And for some reason, when you change that, it like flipped this switch for me. That's just like, oh my God, it's so not even about that. It's like, what is your story? And let me help you share it. So like, I'm committed to make that a part of, and maybe doing it daily is going to be challenging for me. I'm going to say this again, Brittany Bradshaw thinks I have the craziest daily DMO list on the planet. So adding something else might be a little bit intense even for me. I know that's shocking, Brittany, right? So maybe it'll just be something I do a couple of times a week, or I'll have to swap something out for it. But I just can't even begin to imagine how powerful that's going to be when I find somebody buying product all of the time that I don't know, right? And just how powerful that is if someone asks you, what's your journey? What's your story? So I feel like that's a really powerful income generating activity that may not actually unfold for you till down the road. But who was at Epic and saw Katie Rollins with her story about how she literally just reached out to that one random customer who'd been ordering for a year, and she's like, oh, I'm down 160 pounds. And you're like, what the heck? And now she is a fired up promoter at an event building a business. Like, that's what could happen. So I just think it's super powerful. Brandy, thank you so much for sharing, by the way. I really appreciate it. And from now on, you are not allowed to keep any magical secrets from the rest of us, or I will disown you. If you could do me a favor, Brandy, and type, I see Laura Russell is asking where you go. So if you could type the places that you go to find that, like we did on our live the other day, that would be awesome. She might be frozen, but I'm sure she hears me. So does everybody kind of understand real quick? And then we can move on to one of the other topics here. Like, it's important to do both of those things. There's income generating activity that's going to move your business forward later. There's income generating activity that can put money into your Prove It wallet or your PayPal account or your whatever it is you use that day. And it's important to be even with them as possible. Because otherwise, if you're just stuck in that, oh, I'm sending friend requests, that's easy. Oh, you're going to be waiting a really long time, right, for that to pay off. So a little bit of both. Now I'm out of breath. I'm so excited. And I'm slamming this keto up. So I'm a little bit intense right now. Stephanie, I know we've already done like 25 minutes. I wanted really quickly to recognize the ideas that we've got going on for helping people get to Keto Academy more. And I want to talk about knowing your coach. So
if you want to get off, they can get off. We're recording it.
Okay. Good. What do we want to go with next?
Do Keto Academy and more, because I think it's super powerful. And then we'll just end with the idea of what we're going to chat about at the end is just very basic. It's just giving people an awareness of like, we'll get to that. It's not going to be long.
Okay. I'm super fired up. If you can't tell, I'm in such a good mood. Okay.
Love it.
I know. It feels good. Doesn't it feel good when you're in a really good mood? Plus, my daughter and I basically blasted Andy Grammer in the car today all day. So, but you can't not be in a good mood after that. Okay, so I'm going to, school teacher Mandy, let me ask for some feedback here again. How many of you would love to get to Keto Academy more, would love as many of your teammates to get to Keto Academy more, and sometimes you're sick of us, and even this, I want honest transparency. Sometimes are you sick of us talking about how amazing it is because in the back of your head, you're like, stop talking about it, I can't go? Yeah, I mean, I can go, and sometimes I'm like, can we stop talking about how amazing it is? Like, so you don't have to be embarrassed or shy. I sometimes think that too. So again, let me see a show of hands again. Who wants as many of their people butts in a seat at our next event? If you don't know the answer to that question, the answer is yes, you do. Events, I don't really know how else to say it, but they completely change you. They completely change your business. They completely change your team. They create stickiness and belief. And the feeling that you have when you come out, you literally can't explain it, right? You just can't put a price on it. So it's important for your team to get there. And the people who go to the most events win. The people who get the most people to the events win bigger. So I just want you to keep that in mind. So cost can sometimes come up as a challenge for people who are going to these events. Our tickets are not cheap. There's a reason for that. There's value in our events, and we provide a lot. How many of you go to the events and are literally blown away at what Prove It does for us? Like every single time I'm like, there's no way we can do any better than this. And then it's better. And then we get more stuff and we get more goodies and it's just insane. So there's value in the events. The speakers that come in are incredible. It's worth every penny, 100%. But that doesn't mean it's not a challenge for people. There's the price of the events. There's the price of our hotels. There's the price to travel, fly, arrange for childcare, take time off work. All that stuff adds up. And so I am going to have Carrie and Ashley, I think, is going to start, and I'm going to close my mouth, and they are going to tell you all, literally, I was in tears today listening to this story. Amazing, amazing stuff of how they're getting all these people to the next event. And it's something everybody can do to make sure cost is not an issue. So have at it, ladies.
Okay. So Carrie and I are both local. Carrie's amazing. She is a rising champ, and she has a ton of people that she wants to go to KK more. And I want her to share kind of how this idea kind of got started as my husband pops a keto up. And she has no voice, so sorry.
I was going to say, y'all pray for me because I've been really sick this week. But my thing is, I know how powerful our events are, and this is actually the first year that I can actually take a team with me, because in the past I've only had 1 or 2 people go. And so for me, I know what I experienced, and this past epic was so powerful for me. I got real emotional about it because I have never been more sure in my life that I am exactly where I'm meant to be in this moment. And I came back and I just had a bunch of people join my provers and their provers and their provers. And I've even got customers who want to go to this event. So I don't want something like cost to be the reason why they don't go. So I was like, Ashley, what could we do to get them there? Like, let's have a yard sale. Let's have a bake sale. I don't know. So we started out with the bake sale and we kind of did keto snacks and not keto snacks and put it on Facebook and had people come, and we raised like $150 only selling stuff for 50 cents and $1 a piece, guys. This was insane. So the next weekend we did a yard sale and the same thing, another couple $100. And then Abigail Bernosky was like, all right, well, let's get on these car washes. And she literally called every AutoZone and Advanced Auto. So yesterday we had one that was like 45 minutes from us. This coming weekend we have one that's like 30 minutes from us. Like we're expanding our network because at every single event that we're doing, we have ketones set out. I've gotten customers because people come by and they're like, oh, well, I said, did you guys come by to try our ketones? Well, they see me post about it all the time. So they try ketones, they get talked to, they get, whatever goodies that they're coming to get, or services, car washes or whatever. And we're passing along the word. A girlfriend messaged me about an Easter egg drop. So we've got that in the works. So the night before Easter, all of our little prover Easter bunnies are going to go out around town and drop either 50 or 100 Easter eggs in people's yards, so that when their kids wake up, they're going to be so surprised at all the gifts and chocolates and stuff in their Easter eggs. But it's one less step. You're providing a service. It's one less step for moms and dads to have to do. Or it's just an amazing idea. And the return on that is really great. I think for 20 yards, if you do 20 yards, you're making back $450. So that's a ticket in itself. And my sister is like the queen of fundraising, and she raised a lot of money for child abuse prevention last year. She raised like $26,000 by herself. And so I've got her on board. So we're also pre-selling Boston butts. Like, who doesn't like barbecue? Hello, Ashley. So we've got that going. And then I have a friend of mine who makes like this really good salsa, and she won't give out the recipe. So I've even asked her, hey, would you mind donating your time and letting us pre-sell some salsa? Whatever, I want everybody to go who wants to go. I don't want there to be a single person who says, I can't afford it. That's not an excuse to me, because if you want it bad enough, if somebody called you on a Friday night and said, oh my God, Justin Timberlake down the street, you'd find a way to be there. So I just feel like priorities are never in conflict. And if it's something that you really, really want, you're going to find a way to make it happen. My goal is to get everybody who wants to be there in that chair or on that stage dancing with us.
And I love it because I love it because people we're getting it's also the community aspect of it. So it's not just we're doing fundraising to get people there. We were out there from 8 a.m. till 2 o'clock car washing, if you can't see my sunburn, doing car washes, and had a tent set up, and the kids are waving people in. And literally my 4.5-year-old's bringing people, what ketone flavor do you want, while they're waiting for their car to be washed. We had the most doing it all together. And so not only is it a fundraising thing, it is this amazing fun thing to do together. And it's not just happening here. We also I have a promoter in Detroit, Michigan, who's doing the egg things. And, we've got people all over participating in this, just solving for X.
It's the ripple effect.
Yeah, and I love it because just watching these girls do this, how I even found out that this was happening was because I saw someone else. I saw Leah Johnson Evans, or Leah Evans Johnson. Leah, I don't know what order your names go in, but you're just Leah, and I love you. I saw her making a post about her team doing the egg drop, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's such a great idea. And she was like, oh, I can't even take credit for that. It's Ashley and Carrie. So it's just rippled not only inside of their own team, but other teams are starting to catch on. And why I was I have my stuff together today now, but why I got so emotional earlier was because it was just such a reminder, this is more than a product and more than a paycheck. It is a family. And can you all just take a minute? I mean, I'm being honest with you, I don't want to go do a car wash. I used to coach cheerleading, and we did 9 million car washes every summer, and I have zero interest in doing that again. However, what makes me want to go do it is can you even imagine the amount of stickiness and family and commitment to one another that is going to happen for these girls? Carrie is this is the first time I get to bring a team with me. And the first time she brings a team with her, they will go with her because she helped every single one of them go. Car washes or not, I don't care I don't even wash my own car, y'all. That's Jack's job. I don't do that. So but can you imagine how what that's going to do, that bond for you and your team members, because you all worked together. And I loved what they're doing. They're setting it up so that whatever promoters on their team come and show up to work that event, they get to split the money for that. So to go towards their tickets or their hotel or their airfare or whatever the case may be. So I just thought they were all really great ideas. And then we were kind of spiraling like, oh, you could do it for people's birthdays. You could post like in your local Facebook community page, like, hey, we're decorating people's yards for their birthdays. Or, I mean, the list could be endless. So I'm just so excited. And we're going to throw the biggest freaking party for everybody that got their tickets from like egg drops. Like, we're going to literally take over the entire stage at Keto Academy and more, and that's going to be our jam. So I'm super pumped up about that, and just thought the more people that know about it, even if you don't want to do that stuff, like, just think about that end result, that sticky community. Like, when I even just said how sticky it was going to be for her team, I literally saw Carrie beam, and that's hard when you feel like crap. So I just saw her get so excited for that. So I'm just super proud of them and wanted to make sure they got a chance to share.
Hey, I love that. Well, and even think about this, Mandy, like, say some people might go, well, I don't have a local team yet. Guess what? I bet you we all could look around our house and you could have a little sale, or you could throw things on like the buy and sells. Like, if we all just get a little resourceful, and maybe you don't have a team to do something, but you want to raise enough money to send somebody, like, throw a whole bunch of stuff from your kids that you're using on buy and sell, and get rid of it and take that money and put it in an envelope. And like, so all of those things can be resourceful. I think that's amazing.
Yeah, I love it. And I promise you, I thought those same things. I know it might sound weird. It sounds weird to me, but I don't have a large group of people here local to me. Our team is very spread out. So I've spent the first few minutes going, well, I can't do that. I don't have, what the heck? I will grab the 2 people I have here and we'll go do something, right? Because neither one of them are going. So like, let's figure out how to get them there, right? So unless 100% of your people are going, we can figure something out. So just love that. Thank you guys so much for sharing. I appreciate you. Feel better, Carrie.
Okay, so we're going to dive into really quick. Mandy and I were chatting back and forth just about, like, teams and people. And I actually have been chatting with quite a few people about this conversation. I know Mandy has too. Just about like people and coaching and who works well with who. And I think the biggest thing that we were saying is, when you join this company, you not only get one person to work with, but what's so fun about Prove It is you pretty much have a team, right? You've got more than one person. You meet a whole bunch of people on a Zoom, and you find out who's your friend, and you find out who might be a better coach. And so we were just chatting back and forth, and I said, this is a great conversation to just let people know it's okay if you join somebody and they're like your best friend, right? And sometimes, like, something that Brian Underwood really talked to us about is when we're talking to Brian, like, we look at Brian, like, we live Brian lives right across the street, right over there. And our families have become really good friends, and our kids love each other. And there's times when we're friends, like, we'll go out for dinner and we can talk friends. And there's time where he's coaching me, and I have to be able to distinguish that, right? But sometimes when you join with a best friend, or you join with somebody that you have a hard time being coached from, it's okay to go, hey, like, I want to, like, we're going to be friends, and I might not, you might not take them as serious as you take somebody else. That's kind of where we're going with this. Mandy, you had a great example. Why don't you share your example about the Orange Theory thing? Because I think that makes people go, yes, like, maybe I'm not pushing you like you want to. So it's, hey, Mandy, who else could I work with that would really, like, could coach me, like, give me some new ideas? Like, I still want to work with you, Mandy, but maybe somebody else too that could help, like, shove me a little bit, and I'm actually going to listen to them.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
I have a really great example to help answer that. And I'm going to call on Brittany Bradshaw, who I mentioned earlier hates my 7 million page DMO list. And the fact I keep bringing that up on purpose, because that's a really important part of why I'm going to ask her to speak on this in just a second. So I was thinking today, it's so funny, Stephanie left me a message about getting together and doing this Zoom tonight, and I got it right after I got out of Orange Theory. And I don't know why, but for some reason, Orange Theory, like I go and like it's a business lesson for me every time I go. I'm sure I'm supposed to be working on like my abs or something, but it's my head that really gets it. So there are 2 coaches that I tend to sign up for the most there. One is Coach Kim, and one is Coach Persia. And Kim is super nice and super cute and super bubbly, and I'm pretty sure she was like a collegiate cheerleader. Like, she hasn't told me that, but if she wasn't, she needs to go back and do it again, because that's who she is, 110%. And so I really resonate with her on that level. In case you didn't know, I was a cheerleader, in case you can't tell. So, you know, I just really like her. She's super fun. She's a little bit newer to the gym. And she can't push me. So she just can't push me. She might be able to push some other people, but she can't push me. When I am working out, if I don't want to do if I want to do the modified version of that workout piece or whatever that exercise, even if I know I can do the harder one and I just don't feel like it, I will do the modified version. And she will take 2 steps towards me and my face will tell her, do not push me to do anything I don't want to do. And she'll walk away. Or she'll like come over to check what I'm doing on the bike and then just be like, oh, good job. And I'm like, lady, I could be going so much harder than this. I just don't feel like it. Because FYI, I hate working out. It's not my jam. So I take classes from her because they fit into my schedule and I like her as a human being. I take classes from Coach Persia, whether or not they fit into my schedule, because Coach Persia doesn't mess around. She knows what my goals are. She asks me what I'm wanting out of this. She doesn't take no for an answer. If I'm using a weight that isn't heavy enough, she will literally come over, turn her microphone off, tell me she's disappointed in me, take out the lightweight and hand me a heavier one. I haven't ridden the bike in over a year. I had surgery last January and I wasn't allowed to, I haven't been on the treadmill. I had surgery last January and wasn't allowed to run. And the story I've told myself for 13 months is that I can't be on the treadmill. I can't run anymore. Guess why? Because I hate it and I don't want to do it. Today I went to class with Coach Persia and she was like, no, and literally scooted her hand on my back and pushed me away from the bike and made me go to a treadmill because she's going to push me out of my comfort zone. I can't tell her no. I'm not always going to like what she says, but I'm going to be better for it when the class is over. I'm going to be closer to my goal, closer to my results. Doesn't mean I don't love Coach Kim, because I do. She's a hoot. But I go to her on the days where I'm not really feeling it, right? And I'm probably not getting the best workout. I'm probably not burning enough calories. I'm probably not getting all the splat points. I'm not lifting as heavy. Like I'm going slow on those days. But with Coach Persia, like I know what I'm going to get, and she's a little intense and kind of scary, but makes me do what I need to do. So I think it was just an eye-opening moment for me, that because I've been the last several classes I've had are with Coach Kim, and today was with Coach Persia, and I was like, oh, snap, I'm not going to be able to move tomorrow, right? But which coach helped me more? Probably the coach that was going to push me a little bit. Now, that doesn't mean that that's always what I want, right? Like, that doesn't mean that that's always what I want. There are some days and some weeks where, like, I am sore, or I am just not feeling it, or, you know what, I'm completely satisfied with where I'm at right now. My weight is good. My muscle tone is good. I don't want to lose any more weight. I'm coming here just to stay active, so I don't need to be pushed super far. And then those are a good week for me to go with Coach Kim. So it's just kind of understanding, like, A, that it's okay to not resonate with every single coach that you have. B, it's okay to go to different people, or to allow, like, Coach Kim's not going to be mad at me if I use Coach Persia, because hopefully her goal is the same as Persia's, that I get to where I want to go. She's not going to be mad if I stop signing up for her classes, if in my head and my heart I know Persia's going to get me where I want to go. And so that was my kind of example. And then I just want to bring Brittany in real quick, because that's kind of a conversation that she and I had. Remember, I've mentioned like 40 times already on this Zoom that Brittany does not like my 8 million long DMO list. Okay, well, I got to spend some time with her in Houston last week, and we had one of those conversations where she said something to me, and I was like, I think my heart's breaking into a million pieces. And I know that what she said was so valuable and so huge that in 2 seconds I was able to turn it around and say, Brittany, that is amazing insight, and I need you to share that with more people. And it really is about figuring out who your best coach is. So sorry, take it away, Brittany. Once again, I've given you some kind of intro that you've got to hold up to now.
I hope I hold up to it. So I don't know exactly if I'm going to say what you were expecting, because I really don't remember exactly what I said. But we were having a conversation, and the conversation was really with Melissa. And Melissa was saying, and I hope Melissa doesn't mind if I share, that after she got off the stage at Epic, because she was called on stage, she felt valuable, that she had a lot of value to give because of what she said on stage at Epic. And I said, well, you actually have a lot of value to give, because I resonate with you so much more than I resonate with Mandy. And that doesn't, take anything away from Mandy. It's just that, Mandy and I have people that are on our team, like in my support system, that resonate better with you than anybody else, because y'all are both very, I would say, don't take this the wrong way, aggressive. Like, you have this list and you're like going, and it's just, but when you send out these lists of this mile-long thing, which, for us to do, it's like, well, I can't do all that. And then I just completely shut down, right? But if I hear it from a different voice, or if I hear it, in a different way, and I resonate with that person, then I'm more likely to do those things, because, honestly, whenever, we have that stuff, I feel like you have something that I don't have. Like, there's some trait that you have that I don't have, and I just can't do it because other people have this that I don't. But when I find somebody, like Melissa Reddix or Jessica Craig, or somebody that I resonate just with more and feel more alike to, then I'm like, well, if they can do it, I can do it. If they're doing it, I'm just like them, so I can do it. So that was the main thing. The main thing is every voice matters. And even saying that to Melissa, saying, well, you are super valuable, because I don't resonate with Mandy like I resonate with you. That even made me realize that there are probably people on Brandy's team. Brandy is an amazing leader, and she's, she has the same type of style that you have, that they probably need to hear more from me, because, same thing, they might not resonate with her.
Yes.
Incredible leader, they might resonate more with me. So anyways, and then with that also, like, if you, have a team and you're not letting people, your support team, reach down and touch, the people on your team, you might be missing out, because they might not resonate with you like they resonate with somebody else. I hope that was
perfect. And I 100% loved it. And just so you all know, none of what she said hurts my feelings at all whatsoever, because I love Brittany and I love her husband and I love her kiddos, and I want her to be successful. And so whoever that is in our support team that works for her is who she should go to, right? And it's funny, I have all these people that are commenting, I want the list, I want the list, I want the list, I want the list. And there are people who want that. And it was huge for me too, Stephanie, to be in that moment and to hear from Brittany, to hear her say that was oh, wow, I really thought Brittany and I were tight. I thought she loved me. I thought, you know what I mean? We are tight. I love her. She loves me too. But at the same time, it was valuable feedback for me. Oh, okay, so that moment in my leadership where I'm oh, I wish everybody would just do what I do. Not everybody is going to do what you do. And that doesn't mean that they're not amazing or beautiful or wonderful or fantastic or an incredible addition to your team. It just might mean that they need something else or someone else's voice, and that is okay. And I 100% love, I don't know if you caught this, Stephanie, but I loved what Brittany said when she was and if you are not allowing the people in your support team to touch the people inside of your team, you could really be missing out. And I will tell you firsthand, I haven't always been that way. I've also had moments where I've been well, man, but we've had a pretty successful run of things, so I shouldn't need help. I should be able to be there for everybody. No, the most powerful thing I've been able to do lately is pull you and Steve and pull Melissa and pull Michael Rutherford and say, help, like, here are our people. Someone is going to connect with you. And that connection might be different in different parts of your business too. I joke with Michael all the time that when I first came on board, if he had been my first contact, I'd have been like, you're crazy, man. See you later. You know, it took me a few weeks before I was like, all right, you're my jam. You know what I mean? So thank you so much for sharing that, Brittany. I don't know, that was just the example I wanted to share, my Orange Theory thing, and then what Brittany had to share. I don't know what else.
No, I think it's great. I loved all of it. I think it's really, you know what I love about Prove It is we do have the team, and I love that we can do these Zooms. And so I was just texting some people going like, we need other people that want to share. This is a really good point too. Like if you're like, hey, I want to share on a Zoom, I want to be a leader, I want to step up and do something like this, then get with one of us. Like, I don't want to speak on all of these. I feel like I'm a talking head sometimes. I know Mandy does too, right? So like, if you're like, hey, I want to get out of my comfort zone, like reach out. We do them every Sunday night. And I always go, hey, let's give some topics. Like message Mandy or Melissa or myself or anybody else and go, hey, I think this is a great topic that we need to teach on. I would love to add value and help. And we'll grab some other voices because of that same reason, right? Like I've had that same situation happen over the last couple of months with a girl I thought we were great and found out I'm a terrible coach to that person and she doesn't want to listen to me. And I was like, what? And my heart was hurt for a second. And then I was like, you're right. We're way too much alike. We're better friends and I'll let somebody else coach you. And that's okay, right? And so I love it. I appreciate all of you guys. I think this is amazing. This is the fun part of having a Zoom so that we can learn from each other. There was a lot of great value content. I took a ton of notes. I would say this, be watching. This is the last week of March. So kind of like what Mandy said, when they do some promos, there'll be some things that pop up this week. I don't know exactly what they are. The only reason I know is because we're in Kentucky, so I hear little things. This may be coming back. So super, super powerful. I'd say share your story. There's people like Jack, and I hear a whole bunch of crazy men like lit up on this stuff, right? Yeah. Like using it 3 times a day, having phenomenal success stories. So like this is super powerful. Use the tool that Prove It has made to share it. The Keto Up may be coming back, so watch for that. Share your story with that. I don't even know. I don't know all of the things, but that's exactly what Mandy said. Find the people that have already ordered it. And I hope you all heard this. The little thing, like you go back to your big posts, you can't just make a picture, walk away and hope somebody comments on it. The point of the work is the follow-up. You go to every person that liked your post and you do the ask. Hey, I saw that you liked my post. Are you interested in trying a 5 or 10 day? I'm heading to the post office. Who cares if they say no? That's the work, right? The fun part is throwing the picture up, but that's not going to bring people in. That's like attracting. Remember, you've got to do the ask. You've got to get out there and use your voice. And so I love it. I appreciate you all. We value your time. We're not going to do Q&A, so why don't we let everybody go to bed and just let us know if you want to raise your hand and be a part of speaking on the Zoom, because it will also help you grow as a leader.
And Stephanie, real quick, I know just because I saw a bunch of people asking for like your list of DMOs.
Yes.
I mean, I'm being dead serious. You guys probably don't want to see it. It's a little intense. And I would probably have to, I can make it a little more clear because my checklist is just words that I know what it means in my head to do. But if we do have some things that happen this week, like Mitoplex and Keto Up or anything like that, if you want to schedule like an action hour or something, we'll and we go over some of those things, and then other people who have great DMOs can share theirs, I think that would be really powerful. So I'm game for that. I think
just a DMO Zoom so people can kind of get back to, I feel like we've talked about it for so long and we think people know what they should be, but an actual real, like, what are DMOs? Here are the things that I do, and take what you want out of everybody's list would be a great Zoom along with an action hour. So we can schedule that this week for sure.
Yeah, people seem excited about that. So that would be a good one.
Okay. Everybody have a great night.
Bye, guys. Thank you. Thank you for everyone who shared.
Hey, thank you for being on, y'all. I'm not from the South. Bye.